Well, today the list of Ontario's richest political insiders was released. They call it the Sunshine List, but for the hard-working people of Ontario, there's nothing sunny about this list. While people of Ontario are struggling to pay bills and put food on the table, Kathleen Wynne's friends are getting richer on the backs of the hard-working taxpayers. The insiders and the fat cats are getting big raises, while real folks in Ontario haven't had a real raise in years because of the reckless spending policies of this government. For example, these are staggering. I hope everyone's sitting down at home. For example, the CEO of the Ontario Power Generation got a raise of $400,000 this year alone, bringing him up to $1.5 million. I don't know how many people out there can go back after a hard day's work and tell their family they ended up getting $400,000 raise. I just can't believe it. People are being forced to choose between heating and eating because of the hydro rates are so expensive, and all the fat cats down there are voting themselves increases. There's also, this is staggering, there's also a secret list of Hydro One millionaires. There's a secret list out there that Kathleen Wynne decided to squash, that she didn't want any of the taxpayers to know, that there's a whack of millionaires as people are struggling, again, to pay their hydro bills. We're going to find out who those people are making millions of dollars. This is about people sitting around the board table at Hydro One giving themselves increases, giving themselves a whack of increases while your hydro rates are going through the roof. Kathleen Wynne seems to think the people of Ontario don't deserve to know how much these people are making. Voters need transparency, and I can promise you, on June the 8th, the day after the election, there's going to be transparency, accountability, integrity is going to be brought back to the taxpayers of this province and brought back to Queen's Park. I'll take questions.
How do you do that with Hydro One since it's exempt from the current public sector salary disclosure laws as a partially privatized crown corporation? How do you bring that back into the salary disclosure just on its own? Like, would you bring other?
Well, a lot of people, it's a very good question. A lot of people don't realize that we own 48%, they have 52%. But as 40% shareholders, we should have a voice. Even though it's a minority stake, number one, I wouldn't even sold it if it was me and putting us in a minority position. But again, we have the right to know. We control 48% of the company. So the taxpayers deserve to know. And I'll fight that tooth and nail. And what do they have to hide? These secret deals and the backroom deals of getting raises for the taxpayers? That's unacceptable. Yes, Cynthia.
Do you think that the threshold should be raised above 100,000? I mean, it hasn't been since Mike Harris was the premier. Do you think it's high enough to sort of accurately reflect inflation?
Yeah, no, I understand that. What is it, going back to 2003 or something? But again, this is an example. You have to take inflation into consideration, but it goes back to these backroom deals and these secret deals that the taxpayers don't even know that there's endless millionaires on Hydro One. That's the point. It's not that the people are making 100,000. It's the people that are making millions of dollars, giving themselves $400,000 raises and not telling and being transparent that there's a whack of millionaires and the government doesn't want anyone to know.
Is this list a gift from the gods for you? I mean, it's playing right into your messaging.
Well, I don't think it's a gift at all. It's hurting the taxpayers. All you see is constant raises and raises. Well, people are struggling to pay their hydro bills and trying to put food on their table. As I crisscrossed Ontario, people are struggling out there. And all these fat cats that are making millions of dollars, and I'm not talking about the people making $100,000. I'm talking about all these guys making their deals behind closed doors and then keeping it a secret, not telling the taxpayers. That's unacceptable. We have to make sure that we have some transparency down here on the wages that the hard-working taxpayers are paying. Yes, sir.
Would you
Yes.
put a cap on some types of public sector salaries or?
We're gonna review it from top to bottom, as I've been saying, we're gonna review it from top to bottom and make sure that there's some accountability and some transparency.
What's the
we
last
aren't gonna
question
be-
here? This is gonna be the last.
How do you strike a balance between having competitive compensation to attract top-level talent to some of these jobs that, and these people are running, billion-dollar corporations or services. So how do you strike a balance of having a competitive compensation to attract qualified candidates, but also, as you say, not having
You make it, that's a very good point, and let me use the example of Quebec Hydro. Quebec Hydro, he's making 400,000, our person's making 4.5 million. Something's broken. Something is broken. I don't mind paying a competitive wage. I really look at it based on the performance. I've always based it on performance. I have no problem, and I guarantee the taxpayers wouldn't have any problem if you said you can save millions of dollars and the frontline workers get a small percentage of that for saving money. People don't have a problem with that. It's when they do the backroom deals, they give themselves increases, and when the market in Quebec is saying 400,000 and our person's making 4.5 million, it's broken. So we're going to hold everyone to account. We're going to make sure we have the best people in this country surrounding us to make sure that we make the right decisions and we can start respecting the taxpayers. But I want to thank you. That's it? But no, thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Should salaries be cut?